We're talking with TJ over at College Football Addiction. TJ, we appreciate you pulling up to the channel again. All week long, we've got you, man. We've got to talk about what's going on with the Buffs as they prepare for the next game. Let me go ahead and move over to here. As we take a gander at the schedule, Colorado State's coming up, TJ. And when you think about Colorado State coming up, we know that it is a big-time rivalry game. And to let you all know, this video is presented by it's powered by our partners over at BetUS. Go check them out. They're giving you a great bonus, 150% up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Just use the promo code YouTube150. TJ, Colorado State's coming up. What do you think that the Buffs need to do in order to prepare and be able to have a solid game in this one?
Yeah, I think it's just getting back to basics, right? It is blocking and tackling, and they didn't do either one of those especially well, especially in the first half. A little better in the second half on both, but it is basics. It is beating the man ahead of you. We talked in an earlier video about all the coaching adjustments and all the using this play more, or using this style more, or doing this, that, and the other. I mean, this is a team that. And there are a lot of good teams that you play this year, but you're about to go on a stretch where you have pretty even, if not better talent than. And so it is about lining up and beating the guy in front of you. And if you can do that on most positions, right? I'm not saying you have to go 11 for 11 or 22 for 22, but if you can do that on like 8 or 9, right? And you can beat the guy across from you on 8 or 9%, you're going to win more games than you lose. And so as simple as that is, and as basic as that is, the offensive line has to grow up a little bit and has to want to beat the guy ahead of them. If the offensive line can do that, Sheduer's going to have time to throw, and they're going to beat people deep, and they're going to open up running lanes, and they're going to be better. But if you lose 4 out of 5 battles, weekly on the offensive line, you're not going to win a lot of games. And so that's where Colorado just has to be better. They have to be better up front. They have to block. They have to fill lanes. They have to tackle. That is so elementary. I feel like such a child giving that answer. But that is the truth. We know Sheduer can hit the passes. We know Travis can juke people out. We know the running backs have talent. We understand all of that. They have to be better up front. They have to do the very simple things that make football teams good. And if they do that, we'll worry about other games in the Big 12 later. But let's go ahead and just do the simple things well this game, and you should find a way to get a rivalry win.
You got to beat the team in front of you, and in a lot of situations, you got to bet on yourself. And let's talk about betting real quick. This video, of course, is presented by our partners over at BetUS. They're hooking the gamer up to 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. The hookup is big. TJ, we're looking at this spread right now. Colorado will be right now, 7.5 point favorite on the road for this rivalry game. To me, that's a pretty high line and a lot of confidence that Colorado can turn it back. Or is this really saying that Colorado State may not be the team we think they are?
Yeah, Colorado State's not great. And then not to disparage anybody that may be watching this or is a Colorado State fan, and Texas looks really good. But, I mean, they got absolutely mollywopped by a Power 5 team in Texas, which Texas might be the first or second best team in the country, top 3 for sure. So, take that with some salt. But obviously Texas even pulled the foot off the gas pretty early in that one. And so, yeah, I do think Colorado is this much better. They really should have, there was some stuff going on in that game last year. Like, you remember the injury to Hunter and stuff. And yep. I mean, Colorado should have won this game kind of going away last year, and they let them back at it and had to win it close. But I do think they're significantly better. I think they have a ton more talent. I think they will have an advantage in the trenches in this game, unlike most games that they have. They have obviously still the best player in college football and the best quarterback in the conference and maybe in college football too. And so they've got a lot of advantages in this game. And so, yeah, what BetUS or what Vegas is telling you there is on a neutral site game, this would be like a 10-point game, 10 and a half. And so they think you're about 2 scores better. They give them a little bit for home field, still have the total really high. I mean, Vegas didn't just forget about that Nebraska game that happened a few days ago. They understand how Colorado looked, and they weighed that and said, yeah, but we still think they're significantly better than Colorado State. So you just can't go out and lose this game. You got to go out, protect the ball, do the simple things well. And you should get out of this one at 2-1.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so BetUS is hooking you up 150%, not 125 anymore, 150% up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Check them out. Use the promo code YouTube150. They're taking care of you, the gamer, and they got gambling insurance. They're giving you 10% back twice a year on your net losses. It's a hookup you can't find anywhere else. So check out BetUS. TJ, as we're diving into this Colorado State game, we know that the Buffs want to go out there and pass the ball. We've talked about it in numerous videos. Running is going to be critical. And you pointed out Colorado State struggled against Texas, which, again, Texas is probably one of the best teams in the country right now. They're playing like it after what they did to Michigan. Colorado State, can Colorado not only get their defense going where they shut down Colorado State's most of their advancements, you think the run game can get going for Colorado so that they can start building up on that before they go into Big 12 play?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think this is a game where you can certainly get going in the right direction running the ball. You would kind of think, man, if you don't get it done this game, are you going to be able to running the ball? And so I think there will be a little bit more of a concerted effort. I think there will be a little bit more of a focus on trying to run the ball. I mean, let's be honest, they are a passing team. And when you have one of the best wide receiver cores in the country, you are absolutely going to take advantage of that if and where you can. And if this game turns into a shootout, if it turns into a game that they feel like they need to come back or they need to extend things, they're probably going to look to go to the passing game. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they are a little bit more run heavy, if they are a little bit more focused on that this weekend. Because again, if you can't get it done now, you're probably just not getting it done this year on the ground. And so, yeah, I think they will run a little bit more. But man, who knows? If guys are running wide open down the field, it's going to be tough to turn that stuff down and not just take the wide open touchdown. So I think so, but and time will, I guess we'll find out on Saturday.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about, right? Is that, with how swarming the Colorado defense has been in the second half of games, only giving up 6 points, but they're giving up 48 in the first half. You can see that there's a big difference in the way they're shifting. But when you go to that offensive side, you're understanding that, yeah, one thing that we know that the Buffs are going to want to do is throw that thing. And with that wide receiver core, they're showing it. Travis Hunter is playing out of his mind this season, TJ. When you look at him statistically, 17 catches, 242 yards, and 3 touchdowns, it feels like he's fighting him for a Biletnikoff Award nomination and trying to keep himself in the conversation around the Heisman. How do you feel about Travis Hunter going into this game, and will Colorado State really key in on him, especially after what happened last year and them having to take him out of the game in order to keep the game close?
Yeah, I think that, I think they'll focus on them as much as he can. Right? There's not a Deion Sanders on the other side that can, there's probably not one in college football that could actually shut him down, right? There's no Revis Island that you can just stick on your best player. And so, yeah, I think they'll try and focus on them as much as they can, but I don't know that it will be super effective. If I'm Colorado State, my focus is not necessarily to shut down Hunter. It's probably just to get after Sanders and not give him any time. So I'm bringing a lot of blitzes. I'm bringing a lot of pressure because I think your attempts to limit Hunter are pretty futile. I think both two teams so far have shown you that you can absolutely get after the passer. And when you do that, you make life a living heck for Sheduer in this offense. So I don't know that my focus would be to really limit Hunter. I mean, you're going to do as good of a job as you can. You're going to put your best DB on him. But, that's, marginally better than putting me on him. And so, yeah, I think the focus needs to be to really try and get after the quarterback as opposed to double or triple teaming Hunter. You could double team Hunter, and I don't think it's enough in this matchup if Sheduer has time. He's just that much better, and the talent gap is that much wider between these two teams.
I totally agree. That's the one thing you see with it. It's the talent gap is very wide, and Colorado has no excuse to go out there and put those numbers up. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Thank you again. We've got TJ from College Football Addiction who has joined us. Man, we appreciate you pulling up and talking with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man, for having me.
Absolutely. Check them out. College Football Addiction. Link is in the description below. This video is powered by our partners over there at BetUS. You can check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. So check them out. And yeah, let them know that we sent you. Thank you all for pulling up once again. You can check out some of the other videos where me and TJ were talking. We got a couple of them here on the screen right here. And you can subscribe and hit that bell notification right above TJ's head. So we will talk it to all of you all very soon.